Welcome to More Than a Few Words, marketing conversation for business owners. This is your host, Lorraine Ball. And you know me, I love a good story. And I never get tired of talking to storytellers. And that's why I am so excited that Tom Ruwitch is going to join me today. He's a storyteller, a business growth catalyst, and a content marketing pioneer. In 2001, people had probably not even heard of email marketing. And he was, oh, hold on a second. I skipped a line in your bio. Okay, we're going to do something so I can read this better at a distance. Bear with me just a sec.
Of course.
Some days are like this. All right, let's make this bigger so I can actually read it. That would be fun. All right, there we go. All right, here we go again. Okay, I'm going to just wait till it doesn't really matter. I can do it at 1.5. Okay. Welcome to More Than a Few Words, marketing conversation for business owners. This is your host, Lorraine Ball. And you guys know me. I love a good story, and I love people who can tell a good story. And that's why I am so excited that Tom Ruwitch is joining me today. He's a storyteller, business growth catalyst, and content marketing pioneer. In 2001, he founded the email marketing software and services company MarketVault. This was before most people had even heard of email marketing. He sold MarketVault in 2019 and founded Story Power Marketing. And today, coaches, authors, and other experts hire Tom to power up their stories because most dish out the same old boring content that turns off prospects, and then they feel frustrated and stuck. So he helps them transform content from prospect repelling to client attracting, turning marketing from frustrating to fun, and convert results from subpar to superb. Tom, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Lorraine. Very, very happy to be here.
I'm so excited to have you, and I really want to dive into this really compelling question of why do storytellers sell more?
Why do storytellers sell more? Because the people in their audience feel heard, feel understood, feel connected. So a good story is not, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. That's a great mistake that some marketers make. They think when we're talking about storytelling that we're talking about, my legendary origin story. I'm going to tell you all about the garage where I invented the widget or the ditch that I crawled out of or whatever their origin story may be. But that's not what it is at all. What it really is evoking the journey that your prospects want to take. And when you tell powerful prospect-focused stories, they think, wow, you get me. And they lean in and they say, how are you going to serve me? They want to hear more. They feel connected to you. They know, like, and trust you. And that's why storytellers draw prospects in and ultimately sell more.
There was so much compacted into that one little answer. I really want to unpack it a little bit. The first thing you said is that it's your story, but it's really not your story. It's your customer's story. Yeah. How do you decide when you're looking at all of the experiences that you've had as a business owner, what makes a good customer story?
Yeah, I'm gonna share with you a really powerful quote that I love. I have it up on my bulletin board. It's by a copywriter named Eugene Schwartz, who back in the day was the most prolific, successful copywriter of his day, 60s, 70s, 80s. And he said, copy is not written, copy is assembled. And it's a really profound and important idea because what he's getting at is that if you gather the building blocks to tell stories, to create copy, to write content, You will never feel stuck wondering, oh, when is the creative muse going to strike? It's an act of assembly. It's an act of putting pieces together. And so to answer your question, Lorraine, it really is all about going into your market with curiosity and interest and empathy, paying attention to what makes your prospects tick. What's the problem and they're feeling today? What's the hurdle they're trying to clear? What's the place they want to go to? What's the outcome they desire and envision? And if you can understand that journey, which is an act of discovery, not an act of artistic invention. It's an act of gathering, not an act of magically creating. If you can gather the building blocks, then you can assemble powerful stories. And yes, you may choose to deliver the powerful story by putting yourself into, oh, I remember the time that such and such happened to me. That's fine as long as the story you tell about yourself is something that reflects back on prospects and they can say, oh, yeah, I can relate.
I had somebody tell me that as a business owner, you want to tell stories about what it's like to do business with you on your best days, when you're firing on all cylinders, because at that moment, it's not about the brilliant insight you had, but it's about, like you said, solving the problems that are kind of bubbling up from the marketplace.
Yeah.
And really answering those questions.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. Go on. Go
Okay.
on.
Well, so I was going to jump over to the other side of this equation. Storytellers sell more, but something you said offline that I thought was really interesting is that storytellers also have more fun. Why do
Oh,
we
yeah.
have more fun?
Yeah, well, it goes back to something I said before, which is that when you don't have a story to tell, you're often sitting in front of that blank computer screen thinking, now what? And, I don't want to dive down the AI rabbit hole, but the easy button, the AI easy button is not really solving the problem. And so many people who are creating content are feeling like it's a slog, it's a death march. They're supposed to do it because everybody said create content, but they're not enjoying it. But when you connect with and empathize with your, with your prospects, and you're able to put stories out there that are entertaining, that are loaded with personality, that are fun, two things happen. One, it's just flat out more entertaining to create that content, but it's more fun and entertaining when your prospects lean in and say, oh, wow, yeah, I'm fired up. It's more inspiring. And, it's one of those things when I talk about this idea of marketing can be more fun, some people just shake their head and roll their eyes and say, yeah, right, sure, yeah, whatever you say, Tom. And then time after time after time, I have my own clients come to me and say, I am having so much fun writing my emails now. I'm having so much fun creating content. It's easier, it's working, and the people who are interacting with me are fired up. That's fun.
And when they're fired up and they respond and engage with you and they actually want to buy from you, that's even more fun.
That's even more fun, and really, that's the bottom line. The line in my bio is transforming content from subpar to superb. Superb content is what it's all about. You want content that draws prospects in, that inspires them to hire you, or else, sure, it might be fun to write an email from time to time, but what are you doing it for? This is all about ultimately the bottom line, making connections with prospects and having them hire you.
Absolutely. Okay, I want to address a particular subsegment of my audience, and I think you probably have some of these folks as well. They tend to be the engineers and the accountants, and I love them. They are technical, they're more number oriented, and I find that they are often resistant to the storytelling model because they feel like they're serious business people and that the numbers tell the story. What do I tell them? How do I convince them that even their clients want a good story?
Yeah, it's a great question, Lorraine. So many people think that they have to put up this professional mask, that they have to be very serious and they have to lecture from on high and show their expertise and be very, very, very professional. Well, the reality is that that stuff, that kind of information only, highly professional content, is commoditized. There's plenty of it.
Mhm.
And the way that you stand out is by standing out as a human with personality, with a little bit of humor. And those people that you're talking about, I know them too. They come to me and they want to be very serious. And yet, when you talk to them one on one, when you get into a business relationship with them, they have personality. They'll crack a joke. They'll share details about their lives. They'll smile. They'll laugh. And yet, when they put content out there, they feel as if somehow they've crossed some line that's not appropriate. You have to get over that. You have to be willing to get out there with some personality and some humor and some fun. Information is not enough. Your content has to be informative and entertaining. And if you can combine those, create infotaining content that reflects your personality, that's when you'll stand out. That's when people will hire you.
Absolutely. Tom, this has been so excellent. Thank you so much for jumping on and being a part of the show.
Ah, Lorraine, thanks. Great questions, great conversation. Feels like we're just getting started, but so it goes. People can come and find me, and I'll continue the conversation with them.
Absolutely. And there are going to be links to storypowermarketing.com as well as your LinkedIn profile. I think people should hop over and check out all the things that Tom has to say. Thanks again.
Thank you, Lorraine.
And if you've enjoyed today's conversation and are looking for other resources for your business, be sure to check out our toolbox. Look for MTFW wherever you listen to podcasts. This has been another episode of More Than a Few Words. Thanks for listening.